Jeremy Corbyn's to explain Labour's approach to Brexit and immigration. In a speech this afternoon, he'll say for the first time that he's not wedded to the principle of free movement of people, and he'll argue that the UK can't afford to lose full access to the single market, as many British jobs and businesses depend on it. Let's talk to our political guru, Norman Smith, who is with us. Hi, Norman.
Hey,
why the change of heart from Jeremy Corbyn?
Because what we get today is, in effect, the Jeremy Corbyn reboot, relaunch at the start of the year, trying to present a different sort of leadership and a different approach to Brexit. So Mr. Corbyn has been out and about this morning doing a round of media interviews, something which he's pretty much conspicuously avoided to date, but it's been an attempt to put him out there, put him on the front foot. And on Brexit, he's saying, you know what, Brexit could actually be good for Britain. We could be better off if we left the European Union. And on freedom of movement, that issue which he's conspicuously defended to date, he said, well, we're not wedded to freedom of movement and that there may have to be restrictions as part of the Brexit negotiations, and that Labour is open-minded about that. But more than that, from a clear blue sky, Jeremy Corbyn has also announced this morning that he's in favour of a maximum earnings cap. In other words, people can only earn so much money and that's it. And this is his attempt to present himself as the populist leader willing to take on the wealthy, the establishment, the bankers, saying you can earn so much and no more. This is what he said on Radio 4's Today programme.
We have the worst levels of income disparity of most of the OECD countries in this country. It's getting worse, and corporate taxation is a part of it.
Right.
If we want to live in a more egalitarian society and fund our public services, we cannot go on creating worse levels of inequality and lower levels of
There should be a law to limit income, quite simply.
I think let's look at it. I'm not wedded to...
But you've got a view on it.
I've got a view on it, and I'm not wedded to...
Tell us what it is.
I'm not wedded to a figure on it. What I want to see
But a law, nonetheless, all right, forget the figure, a law to limit maximum...
I would like to see a maximum earnings limit, quite honestly, because I think that would be a fairer thing to do. Because we cannot set ourselves up as being a sort of grossly unequal bargain basement economy on the shores of Europe. We have to be something that is more egalitarian, gives real opportunities to everybody, and properly funds our public services. Look at the crisis in the NHS as an example.
That is massive, Norman. Any reaction so far from whoever?
Do you know, I rang one of Mr. Corbyn's press people and said, maximum earnings cap, what is that? And there was a kind of silence on the other end of the phone, and she said, I'll get back to you. I think Mr. Corbyn has completely caught his own party, his own people off guard. No one knew he was going to say that, because I can't think of any other Labour politician ever calling for a maximum earnings cap. I mean, let's just be clear what that is. That is saying you can earn so much and that's it. The state's taking the lot. Now, how would that work? I mean, I presume in the City of London, if there was a maximum earnings cap, then presumably half the banks, half the bankers would just disappear. I mean, it's an extraordinary policy, but maybe Mr. Corbyn's calculation is, never mind the froth in the Westminster Village, never mind the outrage, it could be popular. People might actually think, you know what, why should people earn more than, say, £1 million? Why shouldn't there be a cap? And that is part of what Mr. Corbyn is trying to do here, to present himself a bit like Donald Trump as the anti-ruling elite, the anti-establishment politician, the person prepared to tell it as it is, even if within, I suppose, sort of the Westminster Village, it's seen as an extraordinary idea.
Thank you, Norman, for the moment.